Welcome everyone to this video where we take a quick look into precision oncology, the hurdle it faces, and why I believe these hurdles will disappear or begin to disappear on a mass scale in the United States and worldwide in the next 24 months, because we have some major things happening. First of all, let's discuss what precision oncology even means. Here is a quick list of precision treatments in oncology across a wide range of cancer types. For example, Keytruda, the blockbuster by Merck, that is appropriate if the tumor has a biomarker called tumor mutational burden of 10 mutations per megabase or more, that is life-saving and life-extending for a lot of patients across all 48 tumor types, fully approved by the FDA and covered, of course, by Medicare and insurance. You have Opdivo by Bristol Myers Squibb, right? This is a microsatellite instability biomarker, a genomic biomarker also in the tumor. It's applicable in melanoma, in non-small lung cancer, in mesothelioma, in renal cell carcinoma, in Hodgkin, and a wide range of cancers. Again, life-saving and life-extending. Tagrisso as AstraZeneca, EGFR mutation, also a genomic biomarker, and so on and so forth. You have a lot of HER2 positive or overexpressing breast cancer applicable drugs. So the bottom line is we have a whole set of amazing drugs that can be life-saving. And the big problem is that when you look at that fully guideline recommended and insurance covered universe of precision oncology, that of the roughly 950,000 qualifying US patients that should get tested for these biomarkers and then put on these drugs and could extend their lives significantly, that nearly 80% of these 950,000 patients do not get testing in time or not at all. And of the 20% that are remaining, we estimate that roughly half of them don't get the right treatment because of a lack of decision support in AI systems. So this is so complicated that a lot of oncologists are not up to speed and they are not doing the right thing because they can't understand what actually needs to be done. And in total, that means that 10% of growth potential or potential coverage of patients doesn't happen. Now, the reason for that is, to make it very short, I have a quick overview here where we estimate, based on what we see on the ground, that the precision oncology patient coverage is a function of what type of hospital and oncology center you're part of as a patient. The academic centers, we estimate that they get to a coverage of roughly 60% of their patients are correctly covered, but that's only 5% of the patient base. These are rough estimates. Tier 2, well-run oncology groups, higher level, roughly 25% of US patients are in Tier 2 systems. We estimate that 40% of their patients get tested in time with the right tests, but 60% don't. And then Tier 3, which is the majority of US patients, only 10% of patients actually get the right precision oncology testing. And the reason for that is that this is just way too complicated to throw all these things you need for that, the guidelines, the lab tests, these other CDX measures, the clinical workflows you need to understand, the decision support you need, the constantly changing FDA indications, clinical trials, and so on. That is driven by pharma, of course. Pharma understands this very well, and they try to explain this to the hospitals, but there's no infrastructure for it. The infrastructure is a very important missing piece. We need digital workflow laboratory infrastructure inside hospitals that is intelligent and turnkey to actually make this all happen. What we see here is the big change that we and others are working on right now is that this infrastructure, turnkey genomics, is coming and being deployed for the first time at some scale in 2025. And I want to just very briefly go into what that actually is, that infrastructure. You have the medical leadership in a hospital group, and you have the administrative leadership. The medical leadership wants outcomes improved, and the administrative leadership wants to make sure they have enough money to run the hospital. Now, if you have all these things down here, how is like Eli Lilly or AstraZeneca, or Merck, gonna explain how they make money, because they can't make the money? That would be illegal. And how are they going to explain to medical leadership how they improve outcomes strategically? They can't. It's too complicated. So what this infrastructure does is it builds the entire precision genomics companion diagnostics inside the hospitals, but also provides systems to make this entire thing profitable, independent of the treatments. And how this works is it actually unlocks reimbursed testing, because all that testing is now fully reimbursed, and shifts it inside the hospitals. And that unlocks roughly $1.4 billion in pure margin for US hospitals. Now, why is this important? It's important because the build out of that central genomics infrastructure inside hospitals, plus the decision support AI and CRO systems, will cost money and will create a lot of complexity that needs to be handled by someone inside hospitals, by solution providers, and it needs to get funded. So it's very important that this is a self-funding mechanism that turnkey genomic solutions unlock for hospitals on a very strategic level. And what that does is, on a macro level, it allows precision oncology, so pharma and all the amazing treatments we have, the capability to be translated into infrastructure that they need. These infrastructure sits inside the hospitals, and the build out of this infrastructure with $1.4 billion is being funded by the infrastructure itself by shifting genomic testing inside the hospitals. And that will unlock something amazing. What's also very important is that this is not pure theory. So we are actually in the process of building the first model hospital with 3,000 cancer patients, roll out in 2025. We are currently building an expert precision oncology board where we basically have representatives of all the major pharma solutions to give input into the decision support systems we are building inside the hospital on top of the internalized CDX laboratories. So we can make sure there's a seamless solution inside the hospital. In Q2 2025, very likely, we will see the rollout and of this entire turnkey solution inside that 3,000 cancer patient system. And we will have metrics that we track very closely. And that's very important. The metrics here will be, what is the percentage of the potential patients that we cover? So if you have 3,000 cancer patients, 1,500 are advanced or metastatic and fall under guideline testing recommendations and qualify potentially for targeted treatments. Let's say a third of them are currently covered. Can we double that? Or can we increase it by 50% in year one with that new turnkey solution? And can we elevate the model hospital into the best-in-class precision oncology hospital within 24 months? And we're pretty sure we can. If that happens, we will be off to the races and make sure we can have a 10x expansion and then a 100x expansion in the United States in terms of patient universe covered. We feel the pressure here, the time pressure, because this is absolutely life-saving. I have personal experiences in my family with cancer, and I think many of you have. Once you understand the power of precision-targeted cancer treatments, and once you understand how few people, even in America, get these treatments despite full coverage of testing and treatments, you understand why this is such an urgent case. And that we get on it. And I think at the core, at the heart of this case, is the recognition that if you don't allow hospitals to somehow monetize this and somehow get the budgets in, it's never going to happen. And if you do, then it's going to be a game changer very quickly. We need to have a win-win-win situation. Patients win, hospitals win, and the manufacturers of the drugs win. Then we can get somewhere. So I'm very excited about what's to come. And we will have another quick video here where I'm focusing more on the hospital side of things, so you understand what the exact benefits for the hospitals are to do that and why I believe this becomes a C-suite priority, a top priority for US hospitals to implement this, because it moves the needle on budgets so much. It moves the needle on precision oncology and oncology excellence a lot, the competitive needle. And of course, it moves the needle or unlocks strategic data and AI business. So hope to see you in the next video. If you see anything here that you disagree with, or you want to add some information, that's why we do this here. We have amazing viewers and we have a lot of you who know a lot of things. Please let me know, and I'm happy to discuss this in the comments and, all over the place, wherever you are. So thanks a lot and see you in the next video.